Well, they overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death. I'd like to share something with you that's really happened to me back in June 2008. I had been contacted by an Indian tribe called the Ho Chunk Tribe Nation. They had seen my testimony on the internet about when I had gone to hell. To me, the earth had opened up. I have to share that another day, and I fell into hell. They seen my testimony. I think they got my book, and they contacted me, and they said, we want you to come and preach to our tribe, because they owned a casino in Wisconsin, Dell. And so I agreed to go out there, and that's my home stomping ground anyways, Wisconsin. So we went out there, and so we got there, and we found a campsite at Dell Lake. Right there's a man-made dam, and we set up our campsite. It was really wonderful. So I'm there a couple of days before the meeting starts, and so the meeting starts, and I go and preach, and I mean, God just shows up. People being touched. People are being moved. I mean, God is really moving. And so the next day I go to preach, and it's raining that day. And I don't know what was going on with the weather. It's just all I know is it's raining. And so I go to this meeting. And once again, God shows up. Matter of fact, God showed up so strong that they told me that sometimes when I preach about my experience when I went to hell, people literally begin to experience sometimes the smell of hell. Sometimes they experience the heat of hell. Sometimes they hear the screams of hell. One time I was preaching in a tent, and as I began to preach about it, there was a woman there whose husband was an evangelist. I knew him, and she used to always say to me, well, Pastor Mike, why would God give you an experience of going to hell? I said, well, that I might have compassion on those who are going there. And so while I'm preaching about the reality of hell, her name was Helen Rhodes, she fell out of her chair onto the sawdust floor and begins to weep and cry and wail like a person who's lost their mind. And people went over to help her. I said, no, leave her alone. I said, God's moving on her. And it must have been about a half an hour later when she came out of this. And I said, Helen, what happened to me? She said, what happened to you? And she said, Pastor Mike, she said, I didn't experience the fire of hell, but you talk about how there's no love in hell. She said, I experienced that. When I experienced God put me into a place where I absolutely, see, even sinners experience the love of God and they just don't know it. She said, there was absolutely no love. She said, I couldn't believe it. She said, it's as bad, if not worse than what you said, Pastor Mike. And so I'm at this Indian tribe doing these meetings in their community building and preaching about the realities of hell. And the person who put it on said to me, last night as you were preaching, one of our young ladies came and said that she smelt this terrible, terrible smell. It was so overwhelming, like rotten eggs or something. What was that? I said, that's the smell of the sulfurs of hell. So God is moving. So I'm there the second night, and I'm preaching, man. God is moving, God is moving. And so I get done preaching. Now get a hold of this. I get done preaching, and I hear the Spirit of God say to me, leave tonight. Right now, leave tonight. And so we got another night for meetings, and I said to the people there, I said, I am so sorry, I've got to cancel tomorrow night's meetings. They said, Brother Mike, you can't do that. We've advertised. We've got all these people coming. More people are coming. I said, I understand this. I said, I would not do this unless I knew that I knew the voice of God. I said, I know the voice of God. And the Spirit of God told me that I got to leave tonight. Well, my wife and kids stepped in. They didn't argue. They said, Dad, you've never done this to anybody. Why do we have to leave tonight? I said, I don't know. I said, all I know is we got to leave tonight. So we got out of the meeting. It was pretty late. And so we got into the pickup truck and we headed back to the campsite. And they said, well, Dad, can't we leave tomorrow morning? I said, no, we got to leave tonight. We got to go tonight. They said, okay. Now, Danny, who usually drags his feet, my son Daniel, my second son, the Spirit of God came on him. He's out there in the rain getting soaking wet. He's picking up all of the picnic stuff, you know, and we're putting everything away, you know, and I backed the truck up, and you can't see what we're doing. It's really raining heavy now. So we hooked the fifth wheel trailer up. We draw the sides in. We get everything put away. And they said, are you sure we got to go tonight, Dad? I said, we got to go tonight. So we start the engine up, and everybody is in. Off we go. I still remember as if it was yesterday, because this was on June the 8th, right? June the 8th, 2008. So we're pulling out, and I'm going past this dam. It's a man-made lake, one of the largest man-made lakes in Wisconsin. And I can't really see that much because it's dark out, it's raining out, but I noticed something seems to be wrong with the dam. It seems like there's a lot of water running past this dam out of this lake. It's like the lake was too full. And so we drive that night, and I'm telling you what, it's raining so hard we can't see where we're going. There's lots and lots of little mini tornadoes hitting behind us, over 100 miniature tornadoes. Somebody said that wherever you go, Pastor Mike, destruction follows. No, it was just the devil trying to get us. So we drive all night long, and, you know, I'm praying all the way. Sometimes we're crawling along. We finally get back to Pennsylvania the next day, and so we're unpacking, and somebody walks up to me, and I don't watch the news, and they said to me, Pastor Mike, did you hear what happened? Did you hear about what happened in Wisconsin? I said, well, no. They said, oh, Pastor Mike, at Dell Lake. And the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I said, what? They said the dam at Dell Lake, early this morning, it broke. It broke. And you can go on right now on the internet and see the videos. It broke. The dam gave way, and houses and highways and everything was just washed away. The whole lake emptied out, Pastor Mike. We would have been washed away in that dam breakage. We would have died. But we heard the voice of God. God had said, you got to leave tonight. And if we would not have left that night, we would have died.
Got it, got it.